The guy back there told me to talk close to the mic. I'm sorry. I'm honored to be here to present the James Baldwin Literary Award for Courage to our next honoree. James Baldwin once famously said, "You have to decide who you are and force the world to deal with you, not with the idea of you." The Black AIDS Institute's motto is "Our people, our problem, our solution." One of BAI's first publications was Kujichagulia, from the second principle of Kwanzaa, to define and name ourselves, to create and speak for ourselves. Whether we are talking about HIV, AIDS, Black literature, theater, or cinema, we have to write our own narratives.
Our next hero is a young man, a storyteller, an Academy Award-winning storyteller, I might add, who imbues this same spirit of fearlessness, unapologetic Blackness, and unapologetic truth into his art.
In an extremely short period of time, he has produced a remarkable body of work that gives voice to the voiceless and shines a light on people who are often not seen. His work is honest, complicated, transformational, and Black. In Moonlight, Black boys look blue. Let's take a look.
Tarell Alvin McCraney, award-winning playwright, chair of playwriting at the Yale School of Drama, actor, screenwriter, and Academy Award winner for Best Adapted Screenplay for Moonlight, and the writer and creator of OWN's David Makes Man. Tarell has always used his art and platform to shine a light on the LGBTQI experience and the HIV epidemic in Black America.
If we Google right now the films dealing with HIV and AIDS, they come up Black, Band Played On, Philadelphia. And if you look at over the 35 plus years that we've been battling this epidemic, who has been hit the hardest and then recovered, and who hasn't, you can see a parallel.
Tarell's advocacy is personal. His own mother was lost to HIV-related complications when he was just 22 years old. His play, In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue, which the film Moonlight was adapted from, was inspired by his mother and his childhood growing up in Liberty City, Florida. In 2019, Tarell wrote and starred in Steppenwolf's Miss Black for President, reenacting the real-life story of drag queen Miss Joan Jett Black, who ran for president against Bush in '92 in an attempt to raise awareness of the AIDS pandemic in the Black gay community.
I would never imagine that I'd be sitting in a room with people doing a play about me. Quite a mindfuck.
When we approach the understanding of what HIV is, we often talk about teaching science. But there are other ways in which we can talk about how illness happens. Illness is a part of the human experience. We must then make it a part of the human storytelling.
The Black AIDS Institute is honored to bestow its very first James Baldwin Award on this very inspiring and groundbreaking laureate.
Tarell Alvin McCraney!
I'm really nervous. Thank you. BAI, thank you so much. You all, you tricked me. What you don't know is that you have my best friend in the whole world here, who was there the night that I found out that my mother had passed away from age-related complications. And you also have my high school crush. Happy birthday, by the way. So everybody's in the house tonight for me to say this. It's wild. I'm grateful to win this. It's so good to be winning in the face of how much we've all lost in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Around the world, but specifically in our community, even in our own homes. It's good to have wins, and this is one of them. Amen, somebody? Amen. In order to keep winning, we need warriors, fighters. My beautiful friends and family are here to support me in my fight. I imagine in this room right now, under the sound of my voice, many of you are in this fight and have found ways to be deputized into this fight. I received my call very late, but early in age. I got a call from my mother who wanted me to call a number I didn't know and merge her onto the line. She said, T, once they start talking, stop and just listen. The nurse on the other end of the line said to my mother, your HIV diagnosis is at a point you either have to begin treatment now The nurse informed my mother she would have to either begin treatment now or be a lost cause. Those words. And she could, if she wanted to, pursue charges against the woman, another nurse, who had exposed her medical records without her permission. She would need money and a lawyer for both. Not having the access, my mother declined, and the nurse hung up the phone. My mother then said to me, T, did you hear? I heard. That was my call. That was my call to action. She wanted me to understand that in a system fatted and oiled with racism and misogyny and poverty, they will use it to work together and make our fight against this now treatable illness nigh impossible. We must be vigilant in a world that will happily write blank checks for foreign wars, that will send black bodies into endless war, so that the most vulnerable among us the reason I'm up here is because my friend Jussie asked me to be here. Before everything, when we didn't have nothing and were borrowing rides back and forth between auditions and meetings, he was supporting the Black AIDS Institute and he was at the forefront. And I tried to write a speech where I would give him a nod, but brother, it was your courage the entire time. It was you. When I had to explain to you how my mother forgot my name, how I had to explain to somebody how when I walked into her room the last time I saw her and expressed to her that I'd gotten this really great job touring around the world, but the only thing that she responded to is when I told her that I got into Yale, you were the only one who understood. That comfort, that ability to listen, that opening, That is the treatment. Yes, thank you, all of the medical practitioners in the room, for how you help us keep our bodies well. But we as a community, we have something deeper and more honorable to give. And that love, fam, that love, it saves lives. I promise you it does. It talks and reaches across the chasm of poverty and inexperience and taboo, and it wakes us up. It quickens the spirit. It gives us resolve to live another day. And without that, all the pills in the world won't save anyone. So I challenge us to be warriors in love. I challenge us to be warriors against trauma. I challenge us to stay in the fight. As they say in the black church, a charge to keep I have. They also sing a little song, and if I had a voice, I would sing it. But they say, hold on just a little while longer. Pray on just a little while longer. Fight on just a little while longer. Everything will be all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the stars of the hit streaming series, The Chadwick Journals, Season 3, leading man, Damien Tufik Raven, and from the film South Central Love, Sky Black.